This is part of our series, I Know and Love Myself, that we've been working with this month. And today we're specifically working about our mind body and experiencing ourselves as an integrated whole. We have a lot of different things that pull our attention. So, anyone who's familiar with internal family systems and the parts, the manager, the firefighter, those parts, also we might have knowledge about inner child work or this part or that age. We have all of the things that are going on that are attracting our attention, our body, our health, the life circumstances we have, our relationships, all of those things. And then we have thoughts about all of that, and then we have feelings about all of that as well. So we have this kind of exploration of how we're going about in the world. And do we feel steady? Do we feel integrated? And that's not to say that we should be always showing up in a certain way. There's some people that we really can't do that with. But just to be aware internally, how am I showing up? So if you're in a competitive workplace, you're going to be careful about expressing vulnerability, for instance. If you're with people who really love being with you, then you're going to be more relaxed. Some family are friendly and some aren't. So you might be really relaxed around some people in your family and not on others. Or you might be estranged from your family. So there's so many different things that we have to deal with. And then we have that feeling of relaxation when we're at home. And it's different feeling in our body, even thinking about skydiving or doing something that generates a lot of adrenaline. It really causes a certain kind of different feeling in our body. So I wanted to pause here for a little bit and just explore that. What is safe to reveal? And probably what might happen is, well, this isn't safe. That might be what comes up. But from a more positive viewpoint or perspective, too, what would people be interested in knowing about you? And what can you afford to share and with whom? Those three questions. What is safe to reveal and when? And people with trauma backgrounds often overprotect ourselves because we've been hurt by people, so we don't want to take a risk. And then to open it up as well, what would people be interested in knowing about you? What's interesting about you? What lights your fire? What are you passionate about? Do you have an interest in something that is unusual or that people would enjoy knowing more about? But also on a deeper level, take a few minutes to visualize this. You could put yourself in a coffee shop with a friend or a new friend or however that might come for you. And if you're feeling anxiety or feeling like you're kind of thinking about something else, just bring yourself back. We don't have to go into this in a really deep way. Some of these are deep questions that take a little bit more reflection as well than just a couple of minutes. Just notice your feet, your seat, notice your breath. Just for another minute or so, what would people be interested in knowing about you? Or maybe what do you not share because you don't really feel comfortable, but that you'd maybe like to, maybe have some excitement around that? And then bring that little inquiry to a close. Notice what came up. So now we're going to do a little practice of moving through the layers to come into an experience of integration. So the five koshas, some of you are familiar with this practice. The koshas are the layers of being. So from our physical body, which is the most solid, and then through to the pranamaya kosha, the layer of energy and breath, the two levels of the mind, and then the bliss, kind of the layer of bliss. And the idea, the philosophy in yoga meditation and the Eastern philosophy is there's our being at the center, and then there's these layers that progressively block out more and more of the light. And so the more that we can be integrated, especially in the three layers that cause the most distraction. So our physical body, our energy and breath, and then the lower level of the mind, which has all of that thought rolling through it all the time. That's what takes us away from an integrated sense of who we are. So, working with these five koshas, we develop this capacity to be more free and to feel whole. So, let's settle back. We'll just do this for, 5 or 6 minutes maybe to sense, who am I in this multiple layers of experience? And notice that we have a physical body. That's something that we can touch, we can feel. We have pain and pleasure in our physical body. We're very attached to our body or detached sometimes. We have a lot of shame. We do things in the world through our body. Our bodies are really important in our life. Notice what happens when you tune into your physical body. If you were to say, "This is me," yeah, for sure, I'm my physical body. Not all of who I am, but I am that. I am living in this body. Notice what your response is to that. And then take a few deep breaths and notice that your body is animated by the breath. When we stop breathing, we're not alive in our body anymore. Sometimes we have this really minimal breath. We're hardly breathing at all. And that might be because we're really relaxed and we're not doing anything. We don't need a lot of oxygen. It's also a form of freeze when we just have these really shallow, not very abundant breaths. So the pranamaya kosha, this layer of energy and breath, notice what it feels like in your body right now. We can touch our physical body. We can sense our energy body. If you were to say, "Yeah, that's me. This is something happening within me, within my body. It's personal to me." Notice if that feels true. And notice if there's a sense of friendliness or neutrality in the body and in the breath. So if you were holding your breath, is it because your breath is out to get you? Is there some kind of malice there, or is there actually a friendliness or a neutrality? Our body and breath are always trying to do the best it can. We're always trying to be as healthy as we can, and our body works with us on that. There's no enemy in the body or the breath. Notice what that feels like, what your response is. There's no right or wrong answer. And then some deeper breaths. Notice the energy or sensations. Some of them are physical, like the air on your skin. Others are more subtle body, like the tension in your gut, something like that. Bring your awareness to your thoughts about that. What are your thoughts about your body and your breath? About your feeling of ownership or integration or, yeah, that's me, connection. And then become aware of the mind more generally, what kind of habits we have in the mind, the memories of our experiences that come through the mind. And is this mind, the thoughts in the mind, the trains of thoughts, is that me? Do I feel connected, disconnected? Does it feel like an enemy? Sometimes the thoughts that are in the mind cause us a lot of suffering. Is there a sense of, no, this is okay? There are things that are happening here that I can work with. It's not my enemy. And then bring those three layers kind of in an integrated way. Bring the integration of those three layers into your awareness. Our physical body, the breath and energy, animates our body, the thoughts in the lower level of the mind. And notice the level of mind that's paying attention to that. Who is aware? Who is noticing? Who knows about all of this? We're tuning into a wisdom, intuition, the higher level of the mind. This is the level as well that can witness thoughts in the lower level of the mind. Notice your body, breath, thoughts in your mind, and noticing that you're observing or witnessing all of that. And then, is this more of me, this higher level of the mind? Is this who I am? Do I feel at home here? And then broaden your awareness to be aware of everything else. So, whatever it is, it's not your body, not the thoughts in your mind. Who are you on a deeper layer than that? So, we're not really into a layer of thinking and thoughts and words, just to take a bit of time to sense into that. Be aware of the space that you're in, that your body's in, that these thoughts are arising in, that you're doing this inquiry in. And then let yourself focus in on the space of awareness itself. Not complicated, just letting everything else be for a moment. Notice the space itself. You might be coming back into witnessing. Who is it that's aware of the space? And sit with that inquiry. My mind body, an integrated whole, my connection with and attachment to or detachment from the different layers of who I am. Watch what's coming and going in awareness right now. And part of witnessing is developing a neutral perspective so that we're able to observe what it is that's coming and going, including our judgments about what's coming and going. We're not saying to be neutral in terms of our response, but to be able to remain aware and observing. This is who I am. I have a body, I have experiences, I love certain people, I hate certain things. This is who we are. And we can rest in that complexity and that fullness. And then when you're ready, finish the inquiry, open your eyes.